Hi everyone, my name is Chelsea. Welcome to Little Mountain Ranch. I'm really happy to have you here with me. We are going to be doing another Costco haul, and this Costco haul is coming only after, I think, 2.5 months since our last one at the end of February. We usually try to do Costco hauls around every solid 3 months or even 6 months, but we have found over the last probably 6 months or so that we are needing to go more frequently because we have a lot of teenagers in the house, and if you've ever had teenagers before, you know they eat a ton. So the amount that we're having to buy at Costco has definitely increased. The other thing is that we have really cut down on our regular grocery shops to our local grocery store. Our Costco is a few hours away, and we have cut those down quite a bit, which means that we're needing to buy a little bit more when we're going to do our bulk orders, both from Costco and also from Horizon Distributors, which is another place that we get bulk food from. If you haven't watched one of our Costco hauls before, there's a couple of things I'll just cover at the outset to answer any questions that might come up as we go through our haul. The first is that we are in Canada, and our dollar is currently at 73 cents to the American dollar, so keep that in mind when I'm sharing prices. I do try to share prices of everything as we actually go through, and I show everything to you. The other thing is that we live on a farm and we raise a lot of our own food. So we have chickens for eggs, we have meat birds for our chicken, we have beef, we have pork, all of that. So we don't buy those things at the grocery store. We also do have dairy cows, so we don't buy milk, although we do still buy butter because I'm not a huge fan of raw butter. I have tried making it repeatedly in many different ways, and it's just not my favorite thing, so we do buy our butter from the store as well. I am also an avid canner, so we don't buy a lot of canned food from the grocery store either. We have our pantry downstairs that is stocked with our own home canned food. And on the note of home canning, I am going to be having, and I'm very excited about this, I'm going to be releasing tomorrow our free canning guide for you. So you can keep your eye out. If you're not on my newsletter, you can sign up for my newsletter down in the show notes, and you'll be notified when that's available, or watch here on YouTube because I will be sharing links for that on YouTube in the next week as well. I'm really excited because we are just about to start the 2024 canning season officially. We have asparagus coming up in the garden and rhubarb, both of those things that I love to can, and I just can hardly wait. And I will share with you the price once we get to the end of the grocery haul. So let's get right into it. So normally we don't buy root vegetables at the grocery store because I do grow all of our root vegetables and store them in our root cellar, but we are out of carrots. The carrots that we do have left in the root cellar are starting to get soft and aren't super great. So we did buy 6 bags of organic carrots, and they were $7 per bag. So these are actually going to go right down to the pantry, or sorry, to the root cellar when we are finished up here. We cannot grow a significant amount of corn here, so we always buy the organic frozen corn from Costco, and these are $14 per bag. I do try to freeze and freeze dry lots of berries every year. We can grow strawberries and raspberries really well up here. Blueberries not so much, blackberries not so much, and we can't grow sweet cherries, but we can grow sour cherries. So I do try to preserve those when they come in season in our area. But we did use pretty much everything that I preserved from last year. So we bought these, $20 a bag for organic raspberries. That's so crazy expensive. $14 a bag for the berry cherry mix, and we got 2 of the berry cherry and 2 of the raspberry. Organic wild blueberries, we got 4 bags of those at $14 a bag, which is actually a really good price for those. So one other thing that I don't make with my raw dairy is cheese. I actually have just started cheese making again recently. I'm just not the best cheese maker in the world. So we do buy a case of cheddar cheese and a case of mozzarella. And what we do is we just take these and we run them through our food processor on the grater setting and then freeze them in Ziploc bags. And it does, when you do freeze, you can freeze, I should say, blocks of cheese whole like this, but it will be a bit crumbly when you thaw it, but it is doable. So these were $15 per block, which actually isn't that bad, so $179 for the case. We have some of my favorite organic baking cocoa. I like this stuff. It is good. It is not too I don't know, bitter. Sometimes I can find that cocos can be bitter. This one's not too bad. And these were, let's see, do we have a price on these? I do not see a price on these anywhere, but I think they were around $15 or so. We always buy some juice boxes for the kids, the $16 for a case of organic juice, which is actually a pretty good price too. And then we use apple juice like this. I would like to try to get enough apples this year to juice our own. That would be amazing. But we use these in our pork and bean recipe. Let's see, do we have a price on here? Yes, this one was $20. We always buy lots of chocolate chips because we use these in baking, and these are $20 a bag. And then also the same with the craisins, and the craisins were $14 a bag. And I do make most of our own bread, bagels, and things like that, but we always buy some for convenience, and we do like these Dempster's wraps. And there is, how many are in here anyway? 36 tortillas in here, which is fantastic. And these were somewhere around $15 to $17 a bag. So dishwasher soap, $23 for a case. Vanilla, $17. And these just continually go up. And I know I could make my own vanilla. It's relatively easy to do. It's just one of those things that I have just never gotten around to doing. $17 for some Money's mushrooms. One of the things that I do not can as far as a tomato product goes is tomato paste. I just find that it is incredibly time consuming. I do dehydrate the skins, and I do use that powder to add to things to thicken them up, but I do like to use tomato paste in some of my recipes. And this organic Kirkland's tomato paste I actually really like, so we always buy a few cases of those. And these were $17 each. So for a case of the Adams peanut butter, it is $45. $10 a bag of apples. Apples are so ridiculously expensive. It looks like we're going to get a really good apple harvest this year if the number of flowers on my apple trees is any indicator. So hopefully we won't have to buy a lot of apples when our harvest comes in. Some scrubbies at $18. What is this? Some glass cleaner at $20. I actually don't use any of this kind of stuff in the house. I just use vinegar and water for all my window washing and stuff, but Dan likes to use this in the vehicles to clean the windshield, the inside of the windshield. We bought 3 boxes of granola bars at $15 a piece. And then some almonds. I love almonds. These were $15 a bag, which is actually a pretty good price for almonds. We always get some crackers whenever we go to Costco. $12 for these. One of my boys just absolutely loves these kinds of crackers. The sweet potato crackers we all love as well. And then the Mary's Organic. So these are definitely in acquired taste, I would say. Only a couple of my kids really like these ones because they're kind of dry and they're very seedy, the crackers. But I also like them as well. I think they're really good. And we have some light bulbs, of course, at $20, some deodorant at $17. What is this? Oh, these are just some latex gloves, and Dan uses these down in the shop. Those were $13. And we have our organic, whoops, there we go. Our organic maple syrup. This is a nice maple syrup, $16 a piece, which is significantly less than it was last time, which is always nice. This was $191 for this case. So I have started making our own mayonnaise, but for times when I don't want to make mayonnaise or the kids want some and I don't have time to make some, we bought all of these, and these were, how much? $11 each for these. And these actually last for a really long time, as long as they're not opened in our cold room. And then we got some backup honey. I do have a bunch of honey to process from last year, so we did buy some more. These were $25 each. Honey is so expensive. And then some socks. So we've got some men's socks, women's socks, girls' socks. And then Dan bought himself a couple of t-shirts. I always find that the prices on, is there a price on this one? That the prices on clothing at Costco for pretty decent brands are always really good. These don't have prices on them, but I can imagine they weren't more than $15 each. And we also got some bagels. These were $8 a package for bagels. Parchment paper at $18 for a double roll of parchment paper. Buy as much as far as outside of food stuff as we usually do, but we did buy a couple of things. We bought some of these lights because we're in the process of gutting our basement, or our two basement bedrooms, and we needed some new lights. So we got some of those. Dan saw these mason jars here for storing things and thought that I would love them, and he was absolutely right. And also they were a really good price. So I'm gonna open up one of these boxes and see what they look like. These were only $20 a box for these. So that is a really good price. It's always nice to have pretty things to store stuff in. That is so pretty. Look at the lid. I really, really like those. Dan was right, he knows me. Those are really pretty. So I'll be able to trade out all my mismatched jars that I have on the top of my fridge, because I have a lot of my dried goods I'll show you over here on the top of my fridge. And now I'm gonna have pretty matching ones. I love them. Dan is actually just outside right now, bringing the little love seat that we got for the Bunky. How am I gonna take these out? One second here. Look at the size of that. Oh my gosh, these were a really good deal. I'm glad that he got two of them because they're just really nice. Love them. And last one. I can't wait to set them up. But I just realized that I missed a couple of things down here. We got olive oil, of course, because we always buy olive oil. And this actually lasts, so generally olive oil will last 6 to 12 months in storage. And with our cold room being kind of optimal for temperature, it's below 10 degrees Celsius year round, this lasts even longer there. The one thing I will say about storing olive oil in a cool place is it will start to solidify a little bit, but you just warm it back up again and it liquefies again. Well, it's always kind of in a liquid state, but it does solidify a little bit and we'll get some chunks in it. And these were $34 a piece. And then of course we got butter, as we always do, and these were $5.50 for a pound of butter, which is always cheaper than we can get it at our local grocery store. Let's go outside and check out the love seat that Dan got. It was great because they were having a tent sale at our local furniture store. And when we first went to look, the love seat was on for $500 or so. And then on the last day, Dan went by and it was on sale for $300. And it is very hard to find even secondhand furniture for that price. So we were really excited to be able to find that. And Dan actually has the total for the groceries. So let's go track him down and I'll show you the love seat that we got for the Bunky. And there's some pretty flower pots up here. Dan must have bought these too. Oh, they're so pretty. That's so sweet. Okay, let's go see what's happening in here. So this is our Bunky. I just love it so much. It is manufactured by Bunky Life here in Canada. They do ship to the United States though. And we just absolutely love it so much. There is a link down below, and if you let Bunky Life know that you are purchasing the Bunky through us, you will get $250 off from them and an additional $250 off from Dan and I. You just need to let us know that you bought one. How's it going? Dan's just putting the legs on over here. So we were kind of stuck with whatever color they had because it was a good sale, but I think that this gray is going to be really nice and we're going to use some bright colors as accent colors with it. I really like it and it's a great size. Let's put the other legs on and set it up. So it was what did you say? $26.92. $26.92 for the groceries. Food is just so expensive, it's crazy. I can't even imagine what our grocery bills would be like if we had to buy all of our meat, especially meat. I do think that it might even be less expensive. When I did the calculations for raising chicken a couple of years ago, it wasn't significantly less expensive for us to raise our own with feeding good feed and all of that. But with prices having gone up as much as they have had, It might be, but grain is, yeah, grain is.
used to be $15 a bag and it's 25 now.
Yeah, so I'm going to keep track this year exactly how much we spend for raising our meat birds, so I will be able to give you a price at the end of probably in about 2 months now, or from now, that we'll be processing our chickens, and I'll let you know how much exactly it costs and whether it's worth it to raise your own or not. Oh, the size is perfect. So this is where we're thinking of putting the little, it's kind of like a little stool. What's the word for it? The little thing that we saw at the brick. I don't know. Either way, it's like a little countertop with 2 little stools in underneath so that you could sit and have your morning tea and look out the window here. This is where we're going to put the kitchen counter here. We were considering fixing this antique old buffet and using that, but it's not quite long enough. So we probably won't. We'll use that for something else, but not for this. Somebody did suggest potentially taking the legs off of this and using it upstairs, off of the buffet. Here, let me show you upstairs for those of you that haven't seen it yet. So we have the loft with the bed and a nice view out the window and a little TV in the corner. So they were thinking that maybe if we cut the legs off the buffet, we could put it here or beside the bed over here. That might look nice actually. And then it is a place for people to be able to store things. And also somewhere for the TV to sit, although I think it would be too high for the TV, but it could work over here or even at the end of the bed over there. Oh, it smells so good in here. Your favorite thing is how it smells?
Like new car smell by cabin.
Yeah, it is.
That piney like spruce smell.
Yeah, it smells so good. It's coming along slowly but surely. So fun to kind of like envision how you think something's going to look and then do it and have your vision kind of come to life. That's how I feel about this road here. Because do you remember me showing you when we were first building the Bunky where we were going to put the road and I was kind of pointing it out? And now it's there, which is so cool. Are you still thinking of putting a parking lot here?
Yes, I was thinking of putting it right here.
I think that's a good idea. So Dan and I have been talking about another plan for expanding the use of the property, and that is to put in a small campground. We're always looking at ways to diversify and have lots of different streams of income coming into the farm, but in creating a campground up in this area up here, and the first spot that we are going to build, the first site, is actually in beside the Bunky over here, but far enough away and not on the side where there are windows, there's no windows on the back of it either. So back in this area, we'll of course clean all of this up, and then Dan's going to make a nice flat area so that we can pull travel trailers and RVs and stuff into it. And for right now, for this summer, we're going to pull our travel trailer in up here and get it all set up, because we're already going to have running water with a frost-free hydrant back there and then the outhouse back there as well. So it's a good way to kind of get it started and moving ahead right now. And then all up here, I'll take you on a full tour of our plans once we get them all mapped out, but we're going to make probably 6 sites or so coming off of this main road all the way up the hill. We live in an area with a lot of things that you can do out in nature, lots of cool places to go hiking, lots of fishing lakes and things like that, and we thought it would be kind of a neat campground idea to have it here on our farm, but then be able to go explore the surrounding area. So really excited about that. I actually haven't been so excited about kind of a plan for the property as I have been since we started talking about this campground. It's very exciting. So on that note, my friends, we are going to end this video because we have our son and our daughter-in-law and our grandson coming over this afternoon. We want to enjoy our time with them. I hope that you enjoyed spending some time with us, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye. I was just editing the video and I realized that I had not mentioned all of these bags of potatoes back here, and I was sure there would be some questions, so I wanted to address it. These are all my seed potatoes for the 2024 gardening year. So I do try to save my own seed potatoes, but we got our potatoes in so late last year that we didn't have big, really nice potatoes to save over for seed potatoes. So I did order these from Eagle Creek Seed Potatoes, which is my favorite place here in Canada to order my seed potatoes from. These are going to be going into the ground in the next couple of days, and when we start doing all our planting out in the garden, I'll make sure to bring you along with us. I wish you all a fantastic day, everyone. Bye.